Hey guys, welcome back to my channel, Making Sense of Credit. Appreciate you guys being here with me again. Uh, I, I'm going to give you some good content today, and I appreciate you being back with me. This is, I think, my fifth or sixth one of these, but thanks. Also, I'm doing it again right from my kitchen, no high tech gadgets or anything, and I think at some point, we'll get to that. But for now, I'm just here to give you some good content. If you don't know my history, I've been doing this a long time. I started just a brief, sometime I know when I watch some of these YouTube, you got these guys that brag for about 15 minutes on what they got and what they've done. I'll spare you that. But come from humble beginnings, jacked my credit up in college, got out, wanted to buy a house, started raising a family, and the real estate agent told me that I wouldn't be able to buy a house for 10 years. Went to Barnes and Noble and I bought every book on credit that I could find, and that was back in 1989, 90. And then after that, I figured I could help other people. So I've been started doing credit repair back in 89, 90 for a long time on the side because I ran dealerships for 20 years. And so repairing credit was my side hustle. No longer do that. I like to do coaching and consulting. And yes, you can hire me. I'll tell you that later on, not to be spammy. But just a couple things. I just want to, this, this packet of letters is from basically 99, 2000. Few letters that I kept for the past. And I figure it was apropos for today. I'm just going to read a couple from you. This is from a Brian 11/22/99. Hey Tony, thanks so much for repairing my credit. You have given me a lot of new opportunities. Have a great Thanksgiving, Brian. That was 11/22/99. That's another one, Mr. Hill. Just wanted to email you. Thank you for helping me with clearing up my credit scores. I've been in the process of buying a new home, trying to take advantage of the great low rates. We have started building the best rate I could qualify for. And of course, this was a while back, 8.9, if you could believe that. And 3 months later, after you worked on disputing my credit report bureau in my defense, I locked in at 6%. Woohoo! Which was having a $300,000 mortgage. You can really see the savings. Thanks so much for your help. You can count on me referring anyone I know having the same issue. Scott. To it may concern. Hi, my name is Lisa. I won't give a last name. I'm a client of yours and a friend. I'm very pleased with the results. I have been using your company, won't say the company, to help me clean up my credit. I felt that entire process was very timely, went smooth. I'm confident with Tony and his company that they helped me to eliminate credit problems, issues that I was unsure on how to handle. He was very helpful and informative throughout the entire process. I strongly recommend the services to others and have referred many friends, family to his service. If you would like to discuss further or have any questions, please feel free to call me. Thank you for your time. May God bless you. That was November 13th, 2002. This is for a mortgage company. Actually, I used to go in and teach mortgage people on how to do rescores, and I'll get into that one day. But it was a mortgage company. They didn't think that they could do rescores, which is ridiculous. But I went in and helped them. Once again, thanks for all your help, for helping us close many, many deals with your consulting. We will continue to use you for many years to come, we hope. Once again, on and on and on. That's enough about that. But just, I found this in the drawer a few months ago. So anyway, back to the issue today. So look, I am here to talk to you today about, credit. Like you guys know, this is a credit channel personal finance slash small business information. So I want to share that with you. Also, too, if you like the content today or anytime, please subscribe to my channel because there will be much more to come. Share it with your friends and family, like it, and please comment. Good or bad, I can take it. I'm a big boy. So I want to talk to you about auto. I just finished doing some freelance financing for a dealer here in the ATL, and drove me bananas when I would see clients come in unprepared, really horrible scores, and unfortunately, I was working for a very reputable dealer, just in a kind of a tough part of town. And you can say, wow, why did I do freelance financing for a dealer like that? But the thing about it is that this dealer provides a service to the community, and without it, it would be very tough for them to get transportation. But we did the best we could, and once again, I couldn't coach the clients a whole lot because once again, it's a conflict of interest working with those special finance lenders. But I'm no longer doing that project. So I wanted to share with you guys a few things, especially if you have some issues. Once again, this channel is more so for people who are laymen, new to this whole or novice to credit and stuff like that. So for some of you guys who are experts, don't be so tough on me. Yes, there are many ways to do things, and there's never all one way on how to do things. This is just my 40 years of experience doing this stuff, or it's been a long time. But at the end of the day, I wanted to share this with you guys. So first off, a few things that you should do before you go in to finance a car if you have issues. Or even if you don't, people with good credit, I would advise you to, if you got, anywhere from like a 665, which a lot of credit unions will finance you. Some may be a little lower, but once again, I'm not saying this is exactly to the case because I don't know all credit unions. But most cases that I know, because I send my clients to a lot of credit unions, because a lot of times people don't think they can get financing and good rates until they get to 750, and that's not true. You can actually call a credit union in your area nearest you and say, hey, what's the minimum score I can get financing for your low rates, whether that's 2%, 4% on a vehicle, or personal loans that they have. So you can call them and ask them what their qualifications are. So at the end of the day, people with good credit, do some pre-checking before you go in. The other thing too, I would say with people with good credit, before you walk into a dealership, you should certainly do that if you have good credit. Maybe get your financing all lined up. If not, let's say you come in less than that and you don't qualify for credit union financing. The one thing about financing for a vehicle, auto loan, and automobile finance, it's easier to qualify than almost anything else you want to buy. So that's first off. So I would say check with the credit unions first. If you don't qualify, go into a dealer, but also make sure what you want to do, and this is for all of you, good or bad, make sure that you know what lenders they're going to be sending you to. And I would recommend that you ask that they send you to one lender. And yes, the dealer will pull your credit because they need to know where to send you, what bank to send you. And granted, some people walk in thinking that the scores are one thing because they was on Credit Sesame or Credit Karma. Those scores are inaccurate because they don't use FICO score. And then also too, the dealer, they need to know what lenders that based on your scores, where to send you. So, but I would say know your FICO score. Once again, Experian.com, which is my favorite, or you can go to my FICO. Anything that's got FICO and is accurate, that's where you get your reports and your scores from before you walk in. And make sure, once again, you know that, because what you don't want to do, you don't want to have that dealer shotgun you around to 6 different banks. It's ridiculous, and that drives me crazy. Look, I know some of you may have really, really tough credit. Look, the dealer that I work with, the average score at that store, at that dealership, and it's a small independent store, was probably less than 500. I would say 498. Maybe, on the good days, I would get 515s, 520s. And I know you people are probably shaking your head and you're like, no way. Yes way. And there's a lot of that around there's a lot of that around the country. So, but look, first of all, I would not recommend you going into a dealership to buy a car with low scores like that because of the special financing rates, which can be anywhere from 16.5 up to 30%, especially here in Georgia. That would be my first recommendation. But look, I understand that people are in sometimes a dire straight situation and they need a vehicle and a good running vehicle. My suggestion would be if you have 500 to 1,000 to a couple $1,000, buy a car, a $500 to $1,000 vehicle. Now, look, I was in the car business for 20 years. Buy a car that you can buy from $500 to $1,000 vehicle for $1,000. Drive that, and if you have another 1,000 or other money, take that and get your credit repaired. Either hire someone like me or hire someone who's a credit expert. But do not sign up with a credit counselor because once again, they freeze your credit. It's like having a bankruptcy. So you can do better than that. And believe me, credit repair works. You just have to find the right person in the right business. Check them out. So that would be my first. But look, if you have to buy a car, here's how you should do it. So first of all, these are the few things. And actually, this paper that I have here, and I can't share who it's from, but this is just kind of a step sheet, and I wanted to share this with you guys. A lot of times you might get denied, and you don't come in prepared. First of all, if you have some credit and you are maxed on your cards, that's the worst thing you can do. Make sure even if you have lower scores, and once again, I would recommend that you go in with your scores at their highest. So if you have, let's say you have $2,000 and you have one credit card, let's say it's a Credit One and a Capital One. One you owe $300, one you owe $500, but you have $2,000 down. Pay those down to zero because your scores are going to be higher when you walk into the dealership. Don't go in with your utilization at 100% or 80, 70%. Go in where they're recommended 30% or under, and I say even 20% under. And also, despite what you hear, you can pay them off. And I would say before you buy something, pay them off to zero, especially if you've been using them. Because once again, no, I don't want you to put them in a drawer and never use them. Credit cards are like a muscle. As you use them and pay them off, it works in your favor. If you just put them in a drawer, you never use them, you will see that your scores will not be really affected. So, but before you walk into a dealership, if you have $2,000 down, pay off your cards first. If you have a collection, let's say you have a Verizon bill that's $200-300, pay it off. And once again, I would never suggest that you pay off a collection because there are ways not to get around that via 609 Fair Credit Reporting based on the Fair Credit Reporting Act. And once again, you could either do that yourself by investigating the 609 process, or you can hire a company and a credit expert like myself, making sense of credit expert. That's Tony Hill. Okay, I'm just kidding. But look, at the end of the day, so do those things first. But if you have to go in, and let's say you didn't do any of those things, you need a car today. What you need to know are those things to come in prepared with. So first of all, I'm going over my step sheet. You have to have a driver's license. Don't go to a dealer if you don't have a driver's license. Yes, are there some banks that'll get you qualified without a driver's license? Crazy enough, there are. But at the end of the day, the dealer more than likely won't let you. Well, look, and one thing about it, the dealer that I work for, he would not let people drive off without insurance. Well, I mean, of course, without insurance, because you need insurance. All lenders recommend insurance. So, but so if you had two people on it and a co-signer, the co-signer gets insurance, there is a way to monkey around with that. But look, at the end of the day, get your driver's license so you can get insurance for yourself. Don't put that on your co-signer or co-buyer. And also, most times you're going to need a minimum deductible of $1,000. So do some quotes, get some quotes from an insurance company, and prepare. Don't go into a dealership without an insurance company. Do some work, do some due diligence. Also, too, most times, if you're going to go in, have a minimum score of 500 if you're going to finance with one of these special finance lenders. And here's what you need. You need 2 years of steady employment. Or if you go in as a self-employed person, you're going to need 3 bank statements. 3 bank statements. That's imperative for most of these companies to finance you. You're gonna need those. And also, too, if you have a cosigner, and even if you want a cosigner, most of these banks require that you make between $1,800 and up. And I'm not talking about buy here, pay here. I'm not talking about car hop. Please do not go to those dealerships and do buy here, pay here, or car hop. Please don't do that, because all you're doing, you're paying twice for the vehicle, twice more for the vehicle than it's worth. Don't do that. I'm talking about special finance lenders. So most times the co-signers will, even though you need a co-signer, you will need to make at least $1,800, and your co-signer needs to make at least $1,800 and up, of course. So make sure you know that. Also, if you have a bankruptcy, it needs to be at least 12 months old. 1 or 2 banks that'll do that those lenders use, but most times some banks require it being 2 years old, and some banks, don't require it at all. It just depends on where your score is. Sometimes you can get finance as some lenders in a month or 2. It just depends on who the lender is. But these are majority of the banks that we deal with. Also, too, make sure that your driver's license, is your current address. That's really important with a lot of these banks. And then also, too, make sure you have mail coming to that address. I've never seen so many people who live in an address for 1 or 2 years and don't have any mail coming to that address. You have to have something that comes to that address. That's imperative, or otherwise the lender, like I'm talking about, will not finance you. So make sure you have some mail and bring that mail. So bring those things with you. Bring your proof of income, bring your bank statements, a driver's license, check on insurance before you go there, all of these things. What else? And make sure, once again, that you have all your documents. I just want to say this too. A lot of times when people walk into these stores, they have no idea, what they're doing. So you guys should know when you walk into a dealer what the process is. Investigate the process. Call a dealer and say, hey, what do you need from me so I can come in with all my information? Especially if you're trying to drive out in a vehicle that same day. Believe me, if you have tough credit, there's 2 different things. If you have tough credit, there aren't going to be a whole lot of dealers that's going to spot deliver you. What do I mean by spot delivery? If you have good credit and you walk into ABC Chevrolet and you have a 700 score, they will sign you out based on them getting you approved at the lender prior to you leaving, because they pretty much know you're going to get approved based on the scoring system. But that's not going to happen if you're a special finance customer, which means that you have bad credit. So make sure you walk in and you have all of those things. Also, too, I recommend, and a lot of these special finance dealers going to recommend, is that you get gap insurance. If you don't know what gap insurance is the insurance that covers the vehicle the amount that's left after, let's say, for instance, the insurance company don't pay, the whole remaining balance off. So gap insurance is a great way, because here's what happened. I've seen so many times people, they have a vehicle, special finance customer. They get into an accident, and then most of those customers the vehicle's worth more than what the loan payoff is worth more than what the vehicle is. So now they have a deficit of $2,000 or $3,000. Well, if they would have had Gap would have paid off the remainder of that. And yes, I should tell you, some of these Gap places do have a deductible. So don't think you're just going to walk away with zero. Some do, some don't. And then also ask your insurance company about Gap insurance. And I would recommend that you get it. Also, too, for special finance customers, the only people that will tell you not to buy an extended warranty are the ones that's never had anything go wrong with their vehicles. And yes, people will say, "Oh, I have a Honda, Toyota, or whatever." Look, all those vehicles, they all have shops, and they're in the shop for a reason. So make sure you buy an extended warranty. Just shop around, get the least expensive one that you can. But I recommend an extended warranty on your vehicle. Also, too. I'm sorry. I want to share this with you. So if you stay to the end of this, and I meant to say this at the beginning, if you stay to the end of this video, I will have something for you regarding an application scoring, and then I'll put this in as a PDF afterwards too. But a lot of times people get turned out because they do not understand the application process. So once again, I'll probably do another video on that whole process, but I'm gonna have a PDF in here for you so you can actually see the breakdown of how it scores and how it works. And if you have any questions on it, you can certainly email me, Tony@makingsenseofcredit.com. That's my email. And then also check out my website, makingsenseofcredit.com. But back to this. So once again, another thing with special finance, do not walk into the dealer when you have a 500 score thinking you're going to be able to get one of these vehicles. A Land Rover, Jaguar, a Saab, BMW 7 Series, Mercedes-Benz 500 Series. Look, special finance banks hate those cars because you know why? They're expensive. And most of the warranties are anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000, which will just put you out of the out of your budget for the most part, and then they're expensive to repair. So most times you aren't going to get a vehicle. If you do luck up and get one of those, knock on wood, but that's not majority of these companies. They want to see you in those vehicles. So don't be disappointed when you go to an independent dealer and say, "Hey, I saw that Mercedes or I saw that 7 Series. That's what I want." So be realistic. Be realistic. So hopefully you guys got something out of this this video. Also, too, once again, I'll put that credit scoring PDF at the end. Got any questions? Hit me up. Email. Once again, subscribe to my channel, share, like this video, and then comment. But until next time, guys, Tony Hill, Making Sense of Credit, signing off. We'll see you next time. Thanks for being with me.